Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. The intention of today is to share information on trading or trade and investment opportunities in Rwanda, as some of women have been asking about that, and some of them, of course, want to come and establish in Rwanda. So this is a good opportunity to do pitching or even show your business. But as this is the starting, we'll have other bilateral meetings where women would be presenting their products and all that. But I know Joy will go into details because she has got every week where women can present their businesses. So the intention of today is to get information from government institutions on how business in Rwanda can be started and how they can prepare to invest or to operate in Rwanda. So we are happy. I wanted to read the agenda, if Joy allows, so that we can know what is on agenda, though it was sent to our emails, our WhatsApp, our networks. But I wanted to go through the agenda so that we know what follows what. So the agenda of today, the login has already been done by women business leaders, and we have called the meeting to order. Joy did that, and there will be remarks by Joy Zeng, the founder and CEO of African Women in Trade. We'll have opening remarks with the guest of honor, Director General from Ministry of Trade and Industry, Mr. Antoine KAJANGWE. And we'll have the presentation that will show doing business in Rwanda and investment as well as trading from Ms. Divine Nakanyange from Rwanda Development Board, followed by Ms. Cecile Nkomeje, the owner of Pharmalab that manufactures medical devices and surgical masks. She will be showcasing her products so that whoever wants to import from African countries can import, and whoever wants even to be a distributor in Rwanda, she's welcome also on those products. We've just got one so that in next series we can have other women from Rwanda or from other countries. So it will be followed up by questions and answers, and also intervention from Mr. Tony, our guest of honor, because when I'm introducing him, you will find that trade and investment is all around him. So he will intervene in any of the areas that needs to be elaborated more, as well as Divine Nakanyange and also Joy. And then it will be followed up by a wrap-up session. So thank you very much, Joy. And as our host, if you allow, let me now call you to give your welcome remarks for this webinar. Thank you very much. Welcome, Joy. Mute, unmute.
Sorry, yes, of course, sorry about that. Yes, I'm looking for an interactive day here. And thank you everyone who's listening to us on YouTube as well here on the platform. There's a lot of information for you from the Rwanda. As you can see, they're all equipped here. They're all here for you today. So prepare yourself with questions. As you can see, we have a question and answer. Put your question there. We have a session for you as you've had. And so we'll continue that. For now, my name is Joy Tent, and I'm the founder of African Women in Europe and African Women in Trade. And my organization is all about bringing women together, empowering women. I'm going to share with you slides to get to know who we are and how far we have been, and to be able to also get to know about our work. So African Women in Trade, as you say, has a very strong belief of Ubuntu. I am because we are. It's a very powerful platform that women came together, and our vision is to create a bigger platform where women can connect, enable African women and youth to trade and our whole continent and as well across the globe. Our mission is to mobilize and create a platform where African women as well as youth to connect a network and get informed from partnership as well, and as well investment opportunity. Our story started, as I mentioned, from African women in Europe, and we wanted to do something more than just being in the diaspora, supporting ourselves. How can we support each other? So that's how we formed African Women Trade, which was an Africa Continental Free Trade area. We thought that's the best vehicle we have been waiting for to be able to support, because we believe that our continent to grow, we need to encourage entrepreneurship and come out from aid and go to trade. And that's the story behind it. Our goals, as we all met with all the women, we had a very good discussion with them in the beginning when they did a survey to tell us what are their needs. We wanted to do this in a way of design thinking, not us bringing our ideas, but hearing from our women, what do they want? So from there, we noticed from the feedback they needed a lot of mobilization, networking platform, connecting, information and capability building, and as well as finance to be able to grow their businesses. And this has brought up a lot of objectives all together. And as you can see, we have a list of them where we are working on them, each one of them as we go on. And the one we are very excited about addressing the SDG, going through the job to create jobs, eradicate poverty, and improve Africa economy. So following the Africa Continental Free Trade area, we will be very closely is one of our objectives, and as well women and youth at the center of this. The area of interest, we looked in our sectors, women were coming in, and we came up with these sectors. As you can see here, agriculture stands a very important role, as well as the youth and the women, and as well as the technology, all the way to the construction, health, finance, and export and import. So these are areas that we are very looking for. But how do we do this? So we need to create a very good, strong value. As you know, trust is the middle of the everything. And we have done a very marvelous job since Monday. When we started all this organization until now, it's almost 6 months, and we have been seeing a lot of collaboration and trust. That's why we have events like this one, trusting that our partners on the ground are capable of bringing this organization and trusting us. As well, it's a very important role, especially in doing businesses. It's very hard to do business without trust and collaboration, respect, knowing we come from different cultures, we should be able to work together. And all this we started step by step, and we're amazed some of these steps we covered very quickly within a short time. We have a platform already accessing markets, helping members to access markets, and also trading among members that we are seeing every time when there's interaction on our communication networks that we go. And we know when you empower a woman, you empower a generation. Is something we are really passionate about as an organization, together with the both organization of the diaspora African women in Europe and the African women trade. And we are very mindful of our stakeholders, of course, which are our members, and a lot of partnership that have been going on between these and investors and government as well. So the group has a big dynamic as in the demographic area. We have women and youth, which are our center of attention, and the numbers are increasing. And very soon the youth, this was done in January, and this is gonna be changing again because we are reviewing it again this year, and I'll be telling you how we are doing this, especially this month of September, August and September coming. So our platforms, we have the several platforms. We are on Facebook, we're on Telegram. You can also see us on WhatsApp groups that are very, very active, and LinkedIn. But our main communication place is our website. And this website is actually under review as we go to the next level of our trust and building each other in a very stronger way. So we always say my network, my net worth. And that's how we have built this platform of ours, and having great partnership along the way. As you can see here, the partnership has really grown. Some of you have not seen some of this. We're really partnering with SMEs Network, the Pan-Africa. It's a big movement that is going on, and Africa Continental Free Trade Area. And some of you know Jumia. We are working with them finding solutions for you. We hear you, we go out looking for partners that are bring a solution for you. Logistics, this is a company that is very known here in the continent, especially in the e-commerce as well, and making sure the products reach to you wherever you are in the Africa continent. We are very proud of them, so we have just closed a partnership with them, and we'll be bringing you offers how you can start now trading without thinking about the issue of the infrastructure, and they will be taking care of that. So without a good teamwork, we cannot be here where we are. As you can see, they're starting all the way from Rwanda. We have been added one more person. Thank you, Peace, for being part of us together with Bon, and that is all the way. They're very committed members, and we have from South Africa. And if you don't see your country here and you'd like to be part of us, reach out to me anytime, and we'll be able to work with you to build up the network in your country. And of course, as you can see, the demographic area as well as the area of interest where we are focusing on. The numbers are increasing during since we started. This was already in around January, February, and now the numbers have even increased to much higher levels in terms of collaboration about each other. It's not about the numbers as well. We are bringing quality, and how do we know it? By seeing the successes of the stories that are coming out. And so some of these are the successes, as you can see here, are very simple ones, like someone sending goods from one country to another one. And we are seeing, we have already started having coffee registered under African Women in Trade and African Women in Europe, being able to create market access here. As we know, at the moment, the low-hanging fruits are here in Europe. So that's one of them that you're working very hard. We have seen Master Tea. Master Tea is from Nigeria, and all the way we have seen it being traded from Nigeria to South Africa, and now they're selling this product in South Africa as we speak right now. So, and as well as we're looking at the success in the finance area and grant access, we can see here we have been able to give over 10 entrepreneurs as we speak right now. That was confirmation from yesterday. We have been following a pitch. They have been presenting their pitch, and we have been able to connect them with investors who have been confirmed as we speak right now. And we are looking for more starting from September. So if you're interested and you're looking to start or to grow your business to the next level, reach out to us as well. We can connect you with our investors. And through the video project, some of you here who have heard about it, is a combination of a diaspora and entrepreneur in Kenya. We have been able to give you access to free grants to 2,500 to start a business. This is a combination from the Germany GIZ, and they have been in diaspora, that is in Germany, Switzerland, Austria, and France, and it's still going on. So check it out, vidu.africa, and you'll be able to see what opportunity you can get in with combination with the diaspora. We also have supported products and services to access markets in Europe. So right now we can talk, as we have talked about the coffee, which is just about to arrive with us and be able to support market access. This is an area we are looking into very closely so that we can even expose you more. We have found platforms that will be unleashing to you slowly by slowly as we move on. So it's very important also yes, that's all the coffee that I'll be talking about. It's ready to order not only in Europe, also in the continent. If you're in Rwanda or in South Africa and you need this particular coffee, that we have really worked together in terms of making sure that this product is brought to you, reach out to us as well. It's one for one of our members as well, and with the tea as well. So of course, we cannot forget the partnership brings a lot of opportunities. We're having an event that is coming up on 5th to 6th, that is next week. And if you want to showcase your product and services, reach out to me or to AIEC, and you'll find their contact as well on our platforms. And you can reach out to Oliver, who is also here. I'm sure he's speaking. He's going to share the link with you there. We also have going the other direction, celebrating as African Women's Day. It's on Saturday. We're inviting you to come and celebrate with us. We have 4 presidents who are coming from 5 former presidents and one prime minister, to be precise, coming to share with us their knowledge and how we can also excel in the area of leadership. Apart from that, we're doing a survey. This is the second survey, as I was telling you. It's a partnership between, it's actually from two diaspora, the African women in Europe and African network of Germany, and they will be sharing the link with you, or as we speak right now on the platform, so that you'll be able to take the survey, and it will help us to answer and support you from this and knowing what is your needs and the wants. As I told you earlier, we work with design thinking. We want to know what you want, and then we find a solution for you, because that's the only way we can solve problems on the continent. To join us, of course, to be a member of AWT, you have a one-time lifetime membership. We encourage you to check out on us and how to do that. You can see that on our website, www.africawomenintrade.com, as well as you can email us, which is as simple as africanwomenintrade@gmail.com. Thank you so much. And I want to hand over back to Peace, if she's ready. And as I mentioned, all the information I'll be sharing with you on the chat so that you can follow up with that. So let's get ready. I hope you're all ready for the day to get started with the About Rwanda. It's all about Rwanda today and how African women in trade are working together to make sure that we all start trading among each other. Please, I hand over this back to you.
Thank you very much, Joy. Is there any need of a camera? I think I can talk without.
Yes, you can go ahead with your camera because we have YouTube and we would like to see you.
Thank you very much, Joy, for the good overview of women, African women in trade. That was very elaborate and informative, and it's going to help the participants, the women business leaders that are around, to be able to be members and to boost their businesses. So at this juncture, we are going to welcome the guest of honor to give us opening remarks. And our guest of honor is from the Ministry of Trade and Industry. He's called Mr. Antoine KAJANGWE, who is a trade and investment policy professional within the Ministry of Trade and Industry. Antoine also oversees the ministry's domestic and international trade, and also promotes investment and intellectual property rights together with consumer protection, and also formulation of competition laws and policies. So as I said before, everything related to trade and also manufacturing, because when you go to intellectual property rights, then it also touches manufacturing. So he's in charge of all those things, as you see, and he's capable of handling them. Mr. Antoine is also a chief trade negotiator and a senior trade official at the African Union continental level, that is African Continental Free Trade Area. He began his career as a paralegal at New York Country District Attorney's Office, and gained project management experience working with economic and youth empowerment projects at global communities in Rwanda, and also in Imbuto Foundation. Antoine has a bachelor's degree in history and minors in political science, and also general business from Oklahoma Christian University. And also he holds a master's degree in science in international political economy from the London School of Economics and Political Science. So we are happy to have you, Mr. Antoine, as our guest of honor and as a person who is experienced with the trade-related matters that will also help women as they establish in Rwanda, and those that would also want to have joint venture with Rwandan women or even with men. But at this time, we are focusing on women, those who would like to come to Rwanda, and also Rwandan women that would like to collaborate with their fellow women in African countries. So At this juncture, allow me now to welcome Mr. Antoine to give his opening remarks. Welcome, Antoine.
Thank you very much, Peace, for that introduction. Thank you very much, Mrs. Enns, as well for the invitation. And good afternoon to you, women business leaders here in the room with us. I can't seem to start my camera. It requires the host to, okay, there we go. I hope you can see me. Good afternoon to you all once again. As Peace has introduced, my name is Antoine KAJANGWE, the Director General for Trade and Investment at the Ministry of Trade and Industry in Kigali, Rwanda. I hope you're all keeping safe wherever you are, really as we continue to battle this COVID-19 pandemic. On behalf of the Honorable Minister of Trade and Industry, allow me to begin by thanking African Women in Trade for extending this invitation to the Ministry to participate in this webinar on trade and investment opportunities under the AFCFTA. Indeed, it's a great opportunity to reflect on the benefits of the AFCFTA and the high expectations of how the business community and women in trade can take advantage of the agreement. As you may be aware, the AFCFTA is an ambitious Pan-African integration project aimed at increasing intra-Africa trade on the continent, spurring cross-border investments, and inspiring closer institutional collaboration between governments, trade bodies, and agencies. Most importantly, however, the AFCFTA is envisioned to support the private sector development and pave the way for greater industrialization on the continent, job and wealth creation, and sustainable economic development for our countries. Therefore, the role of the private sector cannot be understated, nor the involvement of women in capturing the benefits of this agreement. Currently, a specific protocol on women in trade is being considered as a critical component of the AFCFTA, which will seek to address the unique challenges that women face when trading across borders. In a recent survey that the ministry conducted, we identified some of these challenges to include discrimination, harassment, abuse, unfair costs and fees, and the lack of adequate facilities and infrastructure that women need to effectively participate in cross-border trade. The protocol will therefore place women and the role of women in the AFCFTA at the core of the agreement, ensuring that it is equitable and inclusive for all traders on the continent. For Rwanda, which has placed women economic empowerment at the forefront of its development policies, the AFCFTA supplements these strategies and policies. Over the course of the last 2 decades, Rwanda has refined its national laws and regulations to create a conducive business environment that is cognizant of all economic actors. As a result, Rwanda is today the easiest place to do business on the continent and 39th in the world. It ranks highly on the Global Innovative Index and has one of the most liberal and open visa regimes in Africa. Any business person can start their business in less than 6 hours at zero cost. The national intellectual property and investment regimes facilitate and protect tangible and intangible assets and guarantee investor rights to repatriate their profits. For these reasons and many more, Rwanda is inspiring a generation of entrepreneurs and innovators to establish their startups and concepts in Rwanda. Whether it is the likes of unicorns like Zipline, which delivers medical products via drones, or electric motorcycle companies like Ampersand, or the first fully African manufactured smartphones, Maraphones, on the continent. Rwanda offers the unique trade and investment ecosystem that allows businesses such as these to thrive. It has reliable land and air links to the rest of the continent and robust logistical infrastructure to facilitate cross-border trade and investments. In addition, recent regulations and incentives towards developing an international financial center to support businesses' access to financial services and capital will further cement Rwanda as a gateway for continued trade and investment. Finally, Rwanda's participation in several regional integration projects like the EAC, COMESA, and the AFCFTA provides made in Rwanda products a potential market of over 1.2 billion consumers in the fastest growing region in the world. As I conclude, allow me to reiterate the opportunities of the AFCFTA in contributing to the economic development of Africa's economies, and especially Rwanda. However, it is up to the private sector to make the most of the provisions of the agreement. The Ministry of Trade and Industry stands ready to support you where we can. I wish you all a productive and fruitful discussion ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director General for Trade and Investment. We normally shorten to use a little time, and we shorten it and we see DG Tony. So you will be allowing me, Tony, to use that, and also other participants. So thank you very much, DG Tony, for those good remarks. I think they are very insightful. So we'll be having the presentation on investment and trade opportunities in Rwanda from Rwanda Development Board by a lady called Divine Nakanyange. And for any questions or any inquiries or any comments, just put in the inbox, and then in the chat.
Your camera is off.
Oh, it's off and on.
Okay, go ahead, don't worry.
Yeah, it goes off and on. Okay, it's now okay. I was saying that we are now going to have a presentation from Mr. Divine Nakanyange from Rwanda Development Board, and she will add on what DG Tony told us so that we can have more information on that. So Ms. Divine Nakanyange is the acting head of department, but her title is Export Marketing Analyst. She has a master's degree in international development studies and also bachelor's degree from in economics from Hankook University in South Korea. And she has an experience in doing business, trade and investment over 12 years. And she works, as you see, with the Rwanda Development Board. So she will be presenting to us about investment opportunities. Welcome, Ms. Divine, to have your floor.
You're muted, we can't hear you.
Thank you, Peace, for the introduction. I think that you can hear me now. I'm trying to share my screen. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
So, thank you for this opportunity. I'm glad and happy to be here to present to you the investment opportunities in Rwanda. And also I'm happy to be here talking to women as a woman. So I'm glad to be here. So I'm going to, I think DG Tony has touched on some of aspects that I'm going to talk about, but here I'm going to go into details to give you an idea and also more details on investment opportunities that we have in Rwanda. So I know that we have women from different corners, so in different countries. So I wanted just to start by giving an idea, information, key information about Rwanda. And as we talk about investment opportunities, as we talk about inviting you to come and to do business in Rwanda, it's good to give you an idea on what Rwanda is, since you are coming from different countries. So Rwanda has a population of 12 million, 0.1, and we have 4 official languages: Kinyarwanda, French, English, Swahili. So if you come to Rwanda, whether you speak French, whether you speak English, or whether you speak Swahili, so you will be having someone to interact with you, and we feel at home. And also Rwanda GDP has been growing at a pace of for the last 10 years at an average of 7.5%. And also, as most of you as maybe you know, and also I think DG Tony has touched on it, Rwanda is very committed to Pan-African integration. You have heard how Rwanda played a key role in African Union reforms, and also you know that in 2018, Rwanda has been chairing the African Union, and also is still contributing in ongoing key reforms at the African Union level. And also as Rwanda is a thought leader in the model strategic initiative like Smart Africa, Youth Connect, and you have heard that lastly we have sent troops in Mozambique, and also have been doing this at UN level for the past years, meaning that at international level Rwanda is present, and also when it comes to peacekeeping, Rwanda is there. Now, as we are talking about trade and investment, as Rwanda has access to African and global markets, and also is member of COMESA, ESC, and we have also a trade agreement with we are part of AGOA unilateral agreement, and this this is very important when you are talking about investment, when you are talking about trade opportunities, because it means that if, for example, you come and establish in Rwanda and you have your business in Rwanda and you start manufacturing in Rwanda, your product, we have access to those markets without with reduction of tariff, and also your product will be able to move freely, and also be access those markets quota free and with reduced tariff for number, given the level of integration in those rates. And also now I saw when they were introducing in the brochure that we talked about how Rwanda has been doing well when it comes to doing business, and when in Africa Rwanda has been really an incredible success. And as you have had those who consult those international reports, so when we are talking about how Rwanda is fast growing, how Rwanda is low risk, how Rwanda is business friendly and modern, and all those ranking that we are talking about, they are coming from international report ranking. It's not like Rwanda rank itself, but those are coming from doing business reports that is produced by World Bank every year. And also we have global and African competitiveness reports and global gender gap reports and other reports. So when in this presentation, when I'll be talking about the ranking of Rwanda, so just know that this is not coming from Rwanda, but it's coming from those international recognized reports that after conducting assessment on how Rwanda is doing. So coming back to that, Rwanda is fast growing. It has been growing at a rate of 7.5% in average since 2007, as I mentioned that when I was talking about the GDP. And also Rwanda has been ranked as the most improved nation in human development in the world, and also the low risk. And those international reports ranks Rwanda as the 5th safety country to work at night worldwide. And I know that as a woman, most of the time we are afraid of when it comes to where to stay, a country to stay in. Women, we are among the first people. We are afraid of about our security. We are afraid of working at night. We are afraid of what will happen to that, because we are mostly vulnerable when it comes to security. So know that when you are in Rwanda, you are safe. So in Rwanda, a woman, whether you are a woman, whether you are a man, everyone is safe to work at night, meaning that you will work without fearing. So if you choose to establish in Rwanda, if you choose to do business in Rwanda, you will be, not only your business will be safe, but also yourself, you will be safe. So, and also when it comes to business friendly, Rwanda also has been ranked 2nd for doing business in Africa. And also this means that Rwanda has made easier to do business, meaning that you have reduced the cost of doing business and the time that people spend in doing business and trading across, starting business, in trading across border, in paying tax. Now you can pay tax in your room, in the comfort of your room. You can pay tax. You can register your business as Tony mentioned. It just takes 6 hours and it is free of charge. So you don't have to go to RDB to do it. You can do it in the comfort of your room. You can pay tax. You can do many things when it comes to business just at home, and that we help you to spend more time and also to waste money, because if you have every time that you have to do business, you need a service and you have to go to an office to take that service. So you see that we will have to use a car, pay fuel, and also spend time there. And sometimes you go there and you see there are many people, you'll be queuing. But in Rwanda, most of services have been automated or are done digitally, so meaning that it made it easier and the cost is reduced. And also when it comes to Rwanda being a regional platform, and Rwanda has been promoting meeting, incentive, and the conference event, meaning that Rwanda has been hosting a number of meetings. And Rwanda is ranked 2nd in Africa when it comes to MICE, meaning hosting conferences, events. And we know that even this year we were expected to host the Commonwealth head of government meeting, but because of COVID, of course, it has been postponed. But Rwanda is now hosting those international events, big conferences. So when we host that event, that also is another investment opportunity. That is another trading opportunity. For example, if we are talking about hosting CHOGM and having more than 10,000 delegates in Rwanda, there are a number of services that will be needed by those delegates that will be having in Rwanda, meaning that MICE, that hosting those events creates a trade opportunity. because the people who will be there, we need to go to hotels, that we need to have fun, that we need to buy souvenirs. You know, we have been having, I think women here who are in handcraft in Rwanda, they know that they have been selling souvenirs during those big events, those big meetings. So meaning that with that ease of doing business, with this Rwanda ranking well at international level, it is also creating a number of trade opportunities and investment opportunities. And also Rwanda is increasingly open and connected to the world, and those who have have had the opportunity to travel to Rwanda, you know that if you are coming to Rwanda, you can have your visa at the airport. And also Rwanda is open when it comes to visa in Africa. It has been ranked the 3rd when it comes to visa openness in Africa. And also you have heard recently that you have been receiving migrants from a number of countries, Libya and others. So meaning that Rwanda is open. Opening meaning more opportunities of trading, of interacting with different people. So now when it comes to enabling ease of business or enabling foreign investment environment, Rwanda has a business-friendly regulation. We talked about how Rwanda has been ranked 2nd in Africa, and also Rwanda is the 4th least corrupted country in Africa. And you know, when meaning that there is rule of law in Rwanda. So when you are doing a business in Rwanda, you know that will be protected. There will not be like the corruption where you will go and request for a service that you have right to, and then you will not be given that. So when it comes to corruption, the Rwanda is 4th least corrupted in Africa, meaning that the corruption is very, very minimized. I won't say that is not there, because where there is human being, there is always something. But in Rwanda, we have, if you have, when you will come, for those who do business in Rwanda, they know that on that we are good. So, and also we have Rwanda has a multiple incentive for exporters. Even recently we have a new investment code that was adopted in February this year. So with more incentives that to attract more investments in the transformative project. Maybe I will come back to that later. But we have incentives that are given to investors who are investing in, who choose to invest in Rwanda. And also in that investment code, we have like tax exemption and also non-tax exemption. So when you choose to do business in Rwanda, you will be facilitated, because investors are facilitated. We have a one-stop center dedicated to facilitate investors, as we talked about doing business, making it easy doing business in Rwanda. So if you or an investor and you need information, you want to start your business in Rwanda and you need information, we have a one-stop center where you can go, investors can go and get all the information that they have. And also you may wonder, if I start my business and also after I register, after I have started my business in Rwanda, and those maybe why I start, maybe I couldn't move because I need facilitation. So we have totals also of that. That's why we have what we call at RDB, we have what we call investor aftercare department or services, where we make sure that those investors who choose to do their business in Rwanda or to start their business in Rwanda, they are facilitated. So once you register your investment, you are given an account manager who will work the journey with you, who will make sure that your investment project moves from commitment to operationalization. So that the investor aftercare services there. So if you choose to come and start your business in Rwanda, you don't have to worry about the journey, because we are ready to work the journey with you. And also, I think this Digitoni touched on it, that we are committed to facilitate for foreigners. For example, if you invest in Rwanda, there is no restriction on your capital or repatriation. Of course, you will be investors will be required to fulfill their obligation, which is to pay tax and also to pay their staff. But after that, they are free to transfer their capital, their money to their countries. So now we have various investment opportunity, and maybe I will start with manufacturing. This is one of the sector that we are promoting, manufacturing, whether it's light manufacturing or construction materials. So we have, as I talked about the investment code that we have, that offer a number of incentives. And if you look at it, we have a number of incentives to facilitate investors who choose to invest in manufacturing. So there are various investment opportunity in garment. You have heard that Rwanda has phased out the import of second-hand clothes. I think most of you are aware of that. So meaning that we need more companies to come to Rwanda and to manufacture more garments, and also to be involved in clothing sector, in manufacturing, to make sure that the gap that has been created by that reduction of imported clothes is reduced. So now today the local investors that we have in garment, they just cover 5%, which means that you have 95% of the market in the garment industry which is not covered. So we invite most. I know that this sector is a sector that most women are comfortable with. Even if you look at most of investors that we have in garments, we see that most of them are women. So I invite you to think of coming to Rwanda, also be part of this garment industry, and also we will be here and ready to facilitate you. And also we have various investment opportunity in packaging materials, so wood products. We have when we are talking about manufacturing, those products that are manufactured, they need to be packaged. So we are inviting investors to come to invest in packaging, and also on those listed subsectors. And also when it comes to construction materials, if maybe you had opportunity to visit Rwanda, you have seen that the construction sector is booming, meaning that we need more construction materials to be able to respond to the demand on the local market. So whether it's construction material related to plastic, metals, cement, paints, and also ceramics and glass. So on glass, we have conducted a study, and we have that study proved that in Rwanda we can manufacture. We have all that we need to manufacture glass, whether it is for construction, whether it's glass that are used at home. So we have all we need, like raw materials and everything. So that's why we are looking for an investor who can come and start this glass factory or manufacturing in Rwanda, and this will be the first one, because currently we don't have any glass manufacturing plant in Rwanda. And also when as far as manufacturing sector is concerned, the projections show that the strong urbanization is expected to grow at 35%, and also the Rwanda population is projected to increase by 5 million by 2032, meaning that this rapid growth will drive more demand for manufacturing products, meaning that if you choose to come in Rwanda, establish in Rwanda, not only you will be facilitated, investors will be facilitated, but also you will have access to those markets that we mentioned, COMESA, ESC, now FTA market, but also there is also a growing, a local market that is growing given those, based on those projections that I'm talking about. And also during this period, COVID period, the government thought of supporting companies in the manufacturing sector for recovery. So that's why there is a program that was launched in January 2020, and it is there for 3 years, so to support companies in manufacturing. So to give more incentives. For example, companies that are manufacturing, agro-processing, construction, because this program is targeting 3 sectors, which are construction, agro-processing, and manufacturing. So if companies in those sectors, they are given special incentives when it comes to related to VAT exemption, and also some tax credits for those companies that are already operating. But for the new companies, they are given those incentives and other incentives in this program. So if you are interested, maybe you can share more on that program for later if you are interested with this program. But the point is that to let you know that we have a number of programs that support companies in manufacturing, not only those incentives that we have in our investment code, but also we have this manufacturing and build to recover program that is there to support the companies, and also to make sure that within these 3 years we have more companies that are facilitated to manufacture, but also construction projects are facilitated for recovery. When I talked about manufacturing, but also I think I should touch on agriculture. In agriculture also we have investment opportunities, a number of investment opportunities. Of course, the list that I'm giving here is not exhaustive, but if you have a time to visit in Rwanda, you can, and you go around, you will notice that we have a number of opportunities that are there, whether it's in agriculture or manufacturing. That's why at RDB we invite people to visit Rwanda. You have seen Visit Rwanda being promoted in those who, I know women, we don't like to watch much, but those who like football, you have seen that in Arsenal we have Visit Rwanda. So we invite investors to visit Rwanda so that yourself you can see what investment opportunities are here. And I know that when you have that business eye, you don't need even to be told what are the investment opportunities or trade opportunities. When you are in that place, you can just see what are there. So I invite you, I take also this opportunity to invite you, for those who have not been to Rwanda, to visit Rwanda so that you can see yourself more investment opportunities that are in Rwanda that maybe are not listed in this presentation or I haven't touched on. So in agriculture, we have, of course, also a number of projects that we are promoting, but here I'm going to mention only two: Gabiro Agro Park project and Gabiro Gako Beef and Abattoir project. Gabiro Agro Park is a project that is being promoted by the government of Rwanda, and this is a joint venture with Netafim, which is an Israel company. And this is most of the challenge that you have noticed in agriculture sector is the land. So Rwanda, the government of Rwanda made sure that the land is there. That's why we have started this like projects like Gabiro are there, and the government is putting all infrastructure that are needed for investors, like irrigation. This will be an irrigation land, and the investors are invited to come and have a land in this project and start growing crops. Most the targeted crops in this project are high value crops, and those that are for export, of course, for local market. And also we have maybe on this also project, I can't say all in this presentation, but if you're interested, maybe you can reach out. I can share details on this. And also we have Gako Beef project. So the government of Rwanda has noticed, made the study, and you have noticed that there are potential market for meats at regional and also international level, and the demand of meat is still growing. That's why the government of Rwanda started this project, and with the objective of having produce a place where a company that with the objective of producing meats that meet the international standards. So in this project has been started by 13 local companies, and it's already operating, but we are looking for an international investor who has an international experience when it comes to meat processing and also production. And also there are investments, a number of investment opportunity in tourism and high-end real estate. So I talked about MICE, about hosting a number of investments, international events, international conferences. And with that comes also opportunity, whether it's in tourism or high-end real estate, because those delegates that we are having, we need hotels and also a place to go. That's why we have there are a number of opportunities that have been identified around the countries for hotel, for golf, and also for luxury. So we are inviting investors to come and invest in those identified projects, but also in the other existing investment opportunity in tourism and high-end real estate. So I think I have used most of my time, so I'm rushing so that we can have time for questions. And also we have opportunities in energy and infrastructure. Now we are we are inviting investors to come to invest in affordable housing. As I mentioned when I was talking about how we are expecting the demand to grow, how the urbanization will grow at the rate of 35% in the coming years, meaning that we have more people who need where to stay, house, where to stay, meaning that if you come and invest in this sector, you will the market will be there. And also the government also is supporting this. There are a number of incentives that are given to investors that invest in affordable housing. And also when it comes to energy, we are inviting investors to come to invest in off-grid power solutions. I'm talking about off-grid power solutions because, of course, on this, we want more energy investors to invest in off-grid power, meaning solutions like energy from wind, from solar, and for us to be able to also to connect that on our national grid. And also when it comes to on-grid power solutions, we are looking for investors to come to invest in infrastructure related to on-grid, like transmission, related to transmission of on-grid. For now, we have enough energy from on-grid. That's why we are more focusing on when it as far as on-grid is concerned, on-grid power is concerned, we are inviting investors to come to invest in infrastructure related to that. But for off-grid, we are still inviting investors who are interested to come to invest in Rwanda, and also our new investment code offers a number of incentives to those investors who are interested to invest in this sector. And also when it comes to mining, you know, we have tungsten, tantalum, and also those mining that you minerals that you see. But we need, what we are looking for, our investors to come and process and also those minerals, because we don't want to be exporting them without adding value. So all investors who are interested in coming and add value, start factories, and also add value to those minerals that we have, are facilitated and are welcome to come to do that in Rwanda. So I think from that, we invite you to come. We'll be there to facilitate you. At RDB, we are there to facilitate you. And thank you. I think I used most of time. So thank you for your attention. So I think I will hand over to Peace. Peace, back to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Divine Nakanyange, for the presentation. Many participants have been requesting to share the presentation. I hope the presentation will be shared. And as I move to just reminding the participants areas that Divine has been presenting on, he mentioned of the conducive environment for both human and also those in goods and services. He mentioned being in regional economic communities, as mentioned by Tony, having a wide and deepened market for your goods and services. He mentioned also the digital services being offered by Rwanda through in all agencies. He mentioned of the MICE, whereby they facilitate events like meetings, conferences, and other incentives that are given. The visa waiver for African countries. You don't need to apply for a visa for a long time. You can get your visa at arrival. The Rwanda Air flying to different destinations also facilitates doing business in Rwanda. The minimal corruption and also other incentives that are also seen through the investment code that Mugisha has been talking about. the one-stop center that facilitates those that are coming to invest or to do business in Rwanda, and also the areas of investment that she mentioned. I think as people will approach YouTube or also the presentation, they will be able also to find themselves. So there are questions and that are in the questions and answers, and I answered some of them, but mostly those that were simple, but there are others that need to be responded by the Ministry of Trade and also Rwanda Development Board. But we are continuing with one of the entrepreneurs in Rwanda that will be showcasing her product. She's called Cecile Nkomeje. She owns also, she owns in the free zone, export processing zone, the manufacture of laboratory devices. Those are medical consumables. She will be showing to us. She talks more of Italian than the official languages in Rwanda, which are Kinyarwanda, French, English, and Swahili. So she will talk maybe in Kinyarwanda as an official language, and also hand over to HR to mention about the consumables, medical consumables that are manufactured by that industry, so that those that are interested in those products, they can be able to collaborate with them. Thank you very much. So at this time, I welcome Madame Cecile Nkomeje to present her products. Thank you very much. Questions and answers will be answered live and also through the questions and answers chat box. Thank you.
Bonsoir tout le monde.
Bonsoir.
Oui, merci. Je vous remercie de m'avoir donné l'opportunité de présenter notre société qui s'appelle PharmaLab. PharmaLab, c'est une société faite par 3 associés, 2 dames et un homme. Je représente cette société. Alors, je commence par me présenter. Je m'appelle Cécile Nkomeje. Je suis la directrice générale de cette société. Et la société débute en 2004, faisant l'importation des produits de laboratoire, donc l'équipement de laboratoire, des réactifs et des consommables de labo. On a commencé en 2004 et on vendait ces produits-là. Et puis, qu'est-ce que je veux dire? On représente une société allemande d'une façon exclusive depuis 2004. On a des produits de labo comme des tubes de... Alors, en 2015, c'est là où on a commencé à produire des tubes de prélèvement sanguin de toutes sortes, les pots à urine, les pots à sel. Et tout dernièrement, on a commencé aussi la production des masques chirurgicaux pour se protéger contre ce virus COVID-19. Pour la présentation, je vous ai dit qu'on est à 3 et on est tous des Rwandais et nos employés tous des jeunes Rwandais. Et on est une société familiale. On est 2 sœurs et un beau-frère. Pour continuer à la présentation, je vous présente mon associée. Elle est des ressources humaines. elle va continuer avec la présentation. Merci.
Merci, Peace, de nous accueillir sur ce forum. Comme elle a dit, ma collègue, ma sœur, je m'appelle Jacqueline Karekezi. Je fais partie des associés. Comme elle a dit, en 2005, on a commencé notre société qui est représentante d'une maison allemande où nous vendions leurs produits, l'équipement de laboratoire du monde médical. On a fait comme tout le monde. En Afrique, on achète, en Afrique, on achète, on vend. En Afrique, on achète, on vend. On n'avait aucune idée de créer une usine. Et puis, on est dans un pays comme ça a été présenté par la précédente intervenante, Divine Nakanyange. Elle a très bien présenté le Rwanda aujourd'hui avec l'idée d'être vraiment la place d'investissement au centre de l'Afrique. Puisqu'on était dans une société qui vendait, qui achetait, qui vendait comme tout le monde, on a eu pas mal d'enseignements dans ce sens-là, où on nous a invités à aller vraiment où le pays, la bonne gouvernance nous a donné une direction. On ne peut pas aller dans un progrès à long terme si on ne comprend pas que la production, c'est ça qui fait développer les pays. On doit aller dans le Made in Rwanda. Au début, on avait beaucoup de doutes par rapport à ça. Production, Made in Rwanda. Au début, on pensait que le Made in Rwanda, ça se limitait à l'artisanat, les habits, les paniers, la poterie. On ne pensait pas que le monde médical, on pourrait entrer dans le Made in Rwanda. Mais puisqu'on a un pays avec des dirigeants vraiment qui ont une vision, qui nous donnent une direction, qui nous donnent pas mal d'enseignements, il faut qu'on aille vers le développement. On ne peut pas aller plus loin si on continue à sortir nos devises. Il faut que nos devises restent à l'intérieur, que ça tourne à l'intérieur du pays. Il faut créer les emplois à nos jeunes pour diminuer un peu le taux de chômage. Et tous ces enseignements nous ont incités à réfléchir qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire nous en tant que Pharmalab, comment est-ce qu'on peut contribuer à ce développement auquel on rêve, comment est-ce qu'on peut aller dans ce Made in Rwanda en tant que Rwandais. Et finalement, on a fait notre étude, on s'est dit, bon, les équipements de laboratoire du monde médical, ça dépasse nos compétences, mais les consommables qui sont les tubes de prélèvement de sang, que vous voyez sur le tableau, je ne sais pas si vous le voyez on a essayé d'exposer nos produits. Vous allez voir des tubes de prélèvement de sang. Ce sont des produits qui sont consommés dans des hôpitaux, dans des centres de santé. Quand on est malade, la première chose, le médecin ne peut pas vous soigner s'il ne prescrit pas les analyses médicales. Donc, on s'est dit, bon, on commence par ça. On a ces tubes de prélèvement de sang. Nous produisons des pots à urine. Nous produisons des pots à sel. Donc, ça, c'était notre première étape. De ceci, on a commencé en 2016, la première production. Et puis, on a un pays aussi exigeant. On ne peut pas faire n'importe quoi. On doit respecter les standards donnés par le ministère de la Santé. Donc, des standards qui sont bien. Donc, on doit vraiment respecter les standards qui sont fournis par le ministère de la Santé. C'est comme ça qu'on a, donc, et puis c'est le ministère de la Santé qui nous donne l'autorisation. Après la visite du laboratoire national qui va tester nos produits avant de les mettre sur le marché. Donc là, c'est parti. Nos produits sont consommés par le Rwanda, par nos hôpitaux, nos centres de santé, nos cliniques privées. Aujourd'hui, le Rwanda n'importe plus ces produits que vous voyez sur le tableau. Donc, on est fiers vraiment de voir que ça marche. Et ça, c'est grâce à la bonne gouvernance, c'est grâce aux enseignements que nous avons, c'est grâce à Radibu aussi qui nous oriente aussi, parce que c'est une institution qui qui accompagnent les investisseurs, dont nous. Là, on les remercie.
Madame Cécile, could you make them bigger to look bigger? Maybe if you click on them, maybe they can be bigger.
Okay.
If you double, no, Cora, double click, double click.
Ça va comme ça?
Pas encore. Yeah, anyway, I will be elaborating more. The first one, sorry, sister, the first one are those those tubes that we use for blood testing and also urine and yes, but it is still small. Biracyagaragara ari bitoya. Yeah. So the plastic for urine and blood testing, and these green ones, they are surgical masks that are also being used in hospitals. Currently, people use them to protect face masks for COVID spread. The things that they manufacture.
Pour à sel, pour à urine.
Yeah, komeza.
Aho murazibona masike zacu.
Byanze kuba binini. Nabwo ndabona ari bitoya. Nta kibazo, ubwo ndabivuga uko biri. Niba mufite ibitari amafoto mwabyerekana akabifata mu ntoki gusa. Iminota nabwo tugerageze dukoreshe mikeya kubera tubisubiremo mu cyongereza.
Je continue en français, en Kinyarwanda, en français. Donc là, je vous présente ici nos tubes de prélèvement de sang. Vous les voyez? Urazibona? Ça va, Pis? Urazibona? Donc ici, vous voyez nos tubes de prélèvement de sang. Et puis, nous avons des pots à sel, à urine, ici présents.
Please stop sharing so that we can see what she's doing.
Et puis, nous avons des pots à sel. Donc, il y a une petite cuillère pour pouvoir prendre un échantillon de sel. Donc, voilà. Donc, ça, c'est la première phase qu'on avait fait. Et puis, l'année passée, vu que la pandémie arrivait à toute vitesse, et au Rwanda, comme beaucoup de pays, on n'arrivait plus à avoir des masques. Très vite, on a eu le réflexe de commencer dans les soucis aussi de pouvoir... Masque, hein? Voilà. Donc, masque, là, puis ça va, vous voyez donc nos masques. Hein? Voilà. Donc, la pandémie l'année passée est arrivée. Et puis après, très vite, on a compris qu'il faut aller, c'est urgent. Donc, on a très vite commandé les machines. On a commencé à produire ces masques. Là aussi, on doit respecter les standards exigés par le pays. C'est la ministre-santé qui a exigé, nous a donné des standards pour pouvoir produire parce qu'on vise la qualité. Et la qualité, il faut vraiment contrôler la qualité parce qu'il y a beaucoup de masques qui n'ont pas les standards exigés. Nous, on a respecté vraiment les standards avant de mettre sur le marché. Aujourd'hui, le Rwanda consomme nos produits. On a aussi les pays voisins qui viennent acheter chez nous. Et voilà. Et puis là, dans le monde médical, on a beaucoup, en tant que Pharmalab, de faire d'autres produits. Dans le monde médical, on a des tubes, on a des sondes, on a beaucoup de choses qu'on peut faire. Et là, notre vision, c'est pouvoir consommer nos produits. Dans tous les hôpitaux, les centres de santé, on doit vraiment arriver à consommer nos produits. On vise aussi nos pays voisins, les pays de l'Est Afrique Community. Donc, il y a RDC qui achète chez nous, une partie, le Goma aussi. On a la Tanzanie qui commence à acheter nos produits. On a fait pas mal de marketing au Burundi et en Ouganda, mais là, ça reste un peu, ça viendra dans l'avenir. Pour l'instant, on a la Tanzanie qui achète chez nous. On arrive à l'autosuffisance au Rwanda. Notre fierté en tant que Pharmalab, c'est que nous contribuons vraiment au développement. Nous créons des jobs pour nos jeunes. On emploie des techniciens, les ingénieurs, les laborantins, les jeunes qui ont fait les études de biomédicales. On a d'autres jeunes à qui on forme sur le tard. Et ces jeunes-là payent leurs impôts. Et ces jeunes-là quittent le monde du chômage. Pour nous, c'est une fierté. Et puis, dans l'avenir, oui, il y a une autre chose qu'on fait dont on est fier. On a des écoles de métiers qui nous envoient leurs jeunes pour faire un stage. Ça, c'est une fierté aussi parce qu'on apprend à ces jeunes-là. On est le terrain pour ces jeunes qui viennent apprendre des métiers, des électriciens, des électroniciens, des jeunes qui ont fait la biomédicale. C'est des jeunes qu'on accueille pour former dans notre usine. Je pense, vu que les minutes sont en train de nous limiter dans les temps, je m'arrête là. Je vous remercie encore une fois, PIS, de nous avoir invités, de nous avoir donné l'opportunité de présenter nos produits. On espère que les amis qui sont sur le forum nous écoutent et pourquoi pas consommer Made in Rwanda. Je lance cet appel, je lance cette invitation de consommer nos produits. Ce sont des produits de bonne qualité, ce sont des produits qui ont un standard exigé. Donc, je vous remercie et on est ensemble.
Merci beaucoup, Pharmalab. Pharmalab, I think those that understand French, those maybe that joined us from Central Africa or some of the of West African countries, they speak French. So I think they enjoyed it. What they said that they own this Pharmalab, 3 family sisters, and then they started in 2000. Should I put?
Please put your
camera
camera on.
Yeah, they said they own this Pharmalab, the manufacturing company of medical consumables, and including surgical masks. 3 of them as a family members. They started in 2004, and this has been very important to them because when they saw the country was importing each and everything from outside, then they started this manufacturing of medical consumables. And they said that it has contributed to the development of the country and also to the creation of jobs. And what they do, it also qualifies to the national and international standards. They have got different certificates, international certificates, and also quality certificates from Rwanda. They talked about also, apart from the products they showed us, 3 of them, they also said that they contribute heavily to creation of jobs, as well as facilitating interns in electronics and laboratory to get used of working in such an environment. So they said that they have market for their products in East Africa, including Tanzania Burundi, but Burundi had stopped, but it will be coming soon. And also part of Congo, DRC, which is Goma. They have market for their products. So this has filled their hearts, because that was the desire of their heart, to be able to contribute to the economic development of the country, and also to produce what has been being imported by the country to be produced in Rwanda. So thank you very much, Madame Cécile Nkomeje and your sister, for the good presentation. I think what we are going to do now is to intervene on the questions and answers in a few minutes that we are going to have, so that we can wrap up. There are questions and answers on, there was one on law firm to start legal, but now it's not there. I think it has been answered. So I now welcome the panelists, the host and our guest of honor, and also Madam Divine. If there is anything that you would like to tell the participants, because I can see there are no questions now. We had a few questions. Let me check back. Sorry, I need to.
Yeah, I can see a hand raised up by Ms. Divani. You want to say something? You can.
Oh, Divine, I can see. Yeah, hello, what?
Please put all of your camera on. Yes, that's good. And also Mr. Antoine.
Yeah, thank you, Peace and Joy. So I wanted just to respond to the question on law firm about registration. There are two registrations. I just want to clarify that there are two registrations. There is registration for business registration, which takes 60 hours and also is free of charge. That is compulsory in Rwanda. Everyone operating in Rwanda, whether you are in business, whether you are in trading, whether you are an investor, it's just, that is an obligation. Everyone operating in Rwanda has to register and have that business certificate of incorporation. Now there is another business registration, which gives you rights to the investment code, to incentives which are in the investment code, and also which gives you right to the program, manufacture and build to recover. That is, when you have it, I talked in my presentation, I talked about aftercare services. That service is given to registered investors. Those one, and that's the second, that's not compulsory, but is for those investors who want to be treated as investors. On that, the registration is, of course, the requirement is that you have to have that first registration, which is compulsory, and you have your certificate of incorporation, which you get, of course, after 60 hours, and then the business plan. Investor who want to have to be treated as an investor and have right to the investment code with to incentive which we have in our investment code, and those programs and the other programs like manufacture and build to recover program, you have to submit your business plan at RDB, of course, indicating clearly the job that the investment will create, and also if there is maybe the export that is planned, also to indicate what production will be exported, and whether and also indicate the financing, whether it's equity or loan. So when you have that business plan and everything is submitted in the system within 2 days, that is issued within 2 days, and the cost is 500 USD, and everything, and also that is done online. It's not like it's done hard copy, but that also is done online. So I just wanted to clarify on that from the question that was asked on law firm registration. Thank you, peace.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Divine. There is also another question from Aline. Maybe you or DG Tony can answer that. She's saying, I understand the plastic is banned in Rwanda, and took note when Madame Divine was said that textile-related manufacturing businesses are in need. Is the reusable bags, eco bags production currently enough to cover the country needs? I think that one you will answer, but you had mentioned about packaging, which is being needed. Another one is also, apart from reusable bags, another one, is the country open to import reusable bags from other African countries? Those are two questions from Aline. One is reusable bags or eco bags production currently enough to cover the country needs? Second, is the country open to import reusable bags from other African countries?
Peace, perhaps maybe I can step in here. I think Divine had answered in the chat box, but happy to just clarify more and expand on that. The only bags that are banned, perhaps in Rwanda, are polyethylene bags, which you cannot enter the country with them. So in terms of local production as well, those specific bags are excluded from manufacturing, but all other bags are open to manufacturing. And yes, we do not have sufficient capacity. There's a huge market really for all types of packaging materials, different types of plastic bags, maybe not plastic bags, but packaging material type of bags. So definitely open for additional investments in that sector. I also saw a question from Cindy asking about trade opportunities. These are really expensive. There are several in different sectors. Rwanda has maintained an open and liberal trade policy, trade regime. So we apply a common external tariff, EAC common external tariff on imports, but there's essentially access and open market for all products, whether those are African products or global products as well. So we really have no limit. The sectors are many. We can talk about processed products, processed food products, construction materials, medicine, toys. Really, the list is expansive and quite wide ranging. So I would encourage you to visit Rwanda for sure. Come and see the business opportunities. What is lacking on the local market, where you might have a competitive advantage, and then you're able to start trading as well. But of course, and I think Divine and myself mentioned this earlier, if you are trading or manufacturing in Rwanda, you're also able to access really several markets on preferential tariff rates, whether that's the African Continental Free Trade Area market or COMESA, or also the EAC. I should also mention, recently we've set in place a number of financial sector incentives that facilitate a business termed global trading. So even if you're not trading specifically in Rwanda, but you're doing trading between African countries, for instance, if you're based in Ghana and you're trading in Nigeria, you can still qualify for a number of financial sector incentives in terms of your withholding tax or even your corporate income tax if you establish your company in Rwanda. That's a new incentive that's being provided under the International Financial Center, really to facilitate cross-border intra-Africa trade, even amongst other African countries, not specifically Rwanda. So the opportunities are extensive, wide-ranging. I really encourage you to visit Rwanda, come and see more on what those potential opportunities could be. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tony, for the good explanation. Other companies, I think almost all of them got information. Someone was asking that they heard about investment opportunities. What about trade opportunities? I think they moved together. Apart from harmful products or plastic products, harmful products, maybe cocaine and other related, but other products are allowed. But we can go into details, African women in trade, to give what is the restricted and to be carried or to be manufactured or to be traded in Rwanda, the restricted products. Isabel, can a non-Rwandan hold a company directly, or does the company need to be owned by a Rwandan? Yeah, here I think Divine maybe mentioned about it, but as we welcome all African countries and also those beyond, we do welcome them to establish directly their companies, not being owned by a Rwandan, unless you want to venture with a Rwandan.
Peace, if I may, I see a follow-up question from Isabel
Yes.
in relation to the global trading. Isabel, I would encourage you to visit the Kigali International Financial Center or the Rwanda Finance Limited website. The Rwanda Finance Limited website provides some information on the global trading incentives that are provided. But you can also look at the investment code that Divine mentioned earlier. It also provides details on the process for accessing that specific business incentive. So Rwanda Finance Limited, I believe their website is rfl.rw. rfl.rw, and then you can also find the investment code online, just investment code 2021, and you should get more details on that specific incentive. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, DJ Tony.
Peace, maybe I wanted to add on the question on whether there is a requirement to partner with a local for investors. Our Rwanda Investment Code doesn't require that, so it is open. But of course, as the government of Rwanda, we do encourage joint ventures with Rwandans, of course, to facilitate that knowledge transfer and also, of course, transferring technology. But legally, it is not a requirement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Divine. Any other intervention? I will be copying all these, then we can deal with them as women in trade, African women in trade, and also in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade and Industry and also Rwanda Development Board, just to get answers. Because we are running short of time, we are supposed to finish 6:40, but we are behind the time.
It's okay, we can, if they're happy with their answering the question, because that's the most important thing here. they have so many questions. If there's anything we can still answer, if you don't mind, if there's no rush from your side, you too, just confirm to us. Is that okay? We go on with any other question, or you're in a rush to go somewhere?
Let's ask DG Tony and Divine if they can give other few minutes.
We can make me take 1 or 2 more questions from my side. That's not a problem.
Okay, I
you.
agree.
Thank you, Divine. Maybe you can look at this and then see what you can answer. For Akanoze, I think I will deal with them because this is about transportation and marketing of their products, as well as I think the Ministry of Trade, DG Tony. We can deal with it because it is internally. Let's first focus on those ones that would like to start their businesses, and then we will deal with the Akanoze later. But I welcome you, DG Tony and Divine, to answer other queries from the Q&A.
I have seen that there's 2 hands raised up. I'll just raise you. There's Joe. You're the 2 people to ask the question, Joe Muvuna and Esperance Kanani. So I'll start with Joe. I'll raise your hand. I've seen you raise the hand. I'll put you, promote you to the panelist, and you can ask your question as soon as you're able to join us. Send you the invite. You should be able to see that. You can be able to join the stage. As soon as you see the request, please join, and then you can ask your question. Yes, Joe, welcome. Please unmute yourself and ask your question. Whoever is faster, either Joe or Esperance, just unmute yourself and ask the question to save time. Joe, I can see you're unmuted. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
My name is Esperance Kanani. I'm from Rwanda. And I think as Madame Peace said, I think we have to prioritize these other people. Probably our question will be answered here. But my small thing is that how can we find, this is information from Rwanda, where can we find other information for other African countries where we can exchange our experience and information as women exporters? I represent a company called Women Import and Export Network. We are in export, and it's good to have all information from other countries so that we can work with other women exporters in those countries. Thank you.
Let me try to answer you that one. From our side, as the African Women in Trade, we have the network itself, the website. You can join it. We have so many women there ready to trade with you. And we are also putting up a platform where you can always get information, trading opportunities. And nowadays, there's so many platforms you can check and see which trading opportunities are there. And also, we have done a video like this every month. So if you're interested in South Africa, if you're interested in Kenya, Ghana, check on YouTube. It's recorded. That's why we record all this so that you can watch it thereafter. Check on our YouTube channel, Africa Women in Trade, and you can see all it. And some of them, they have given very good details and the webinars and with PowerPoint presentation where you can get this information. That's from African Women in Trade side. So let the others also contribute to that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Joy. I think other information are always got from the Ministry of Trade and Industry and also Rwanda Development Board. There was a question.
We have one more person here on the stage. I think we've exhausted. Was there anything else answer for Esperance. Did anybody want to answer anything? We have also Joe here. If you're here, you can go ahead and ask your question now.
I think, Joy, if you allow, since Joy is delaying, they can answer a question from a lady from Malawi. It was here. She's called Christina from Malawi. Tell us more about the ban of second-hand clothes. How did you do it? Was there no country, I think, from SMEs that were probably involved in this trade? Was the restriction put in place? We want to learn from Rwanda. We could hear maybe from Digitony or...
I would think, Pete, you could also answer this given your past experience. But it's a very interesting question, and I'm really glad we're able to discuss on this. But our experience, I think, has been very positive in terms of stimulating textile development in the country. Since placing the ban, it's not so much a ban as it is an increased tariff on importation of secondhand clothing. I believe now worn clothing attract if I'm not mistaken, a $2.5 rate per kilogram of imported clothes and a $5 per kilogram rate for used shoes. So it makes it prohibitive and uncompetitive on the local market. And since it was implemented, it was in line with a local Made in Rwanda policy that the ministry and the government was putting in place. And since doing that, it's really stimulated local industries, local entrepreneurs to set up their own textile companies. And what we're finding now is that the number of textile companies have really increased at a substantial rate and level. Of course, it's still not at sufficient to meet the local demand, but you find that there's increased local production, there's job creation, there's industrial development, and it's really the type of policy that we want, industrial policy that we want to promote for our African economies. Now, was there an outcry from SMEs? Yes, initially. Of course, it was affecting some livelihoods, but there was a lot of engagement, a lot of awareness for these traders. There was support for them specifically to support them to set up textile businesses and really understand the potential into going into the manufacturing process themselves. And so you're actually providing them with better wealth creation opportunities in the long run. So it took some time, but today we've seen really positive contribution from SMEs on this. I think my colleagues Divine and Peace, they were both in the ministry when this policy was being put in place, so they can expand a bit more and give some context. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much, Digitony. That was very elaborate. As he said, it was the development journey that the country wanted to, sorry, the camera. Yeah, it was a development journey that the country was to start, and it was the leading country in East Africa to advocate for that. The restriction was in place so that SMEs or other entrepreneurs or manufacturers would think of starting to put on and to manufacture the clothes that would be put on by Rwandan people, because health-wise, second-hand clothes and shoes were not very good for some people, because sometimes they get some diseases through that. But the country was passionate about the development of the sector mostly, and also protection of any dangerous body disease that would be affected, that would affect people from those second-hand clothes. So we started with vests and inner parts, but inner clothings. Then the country also went ahead with other clothings until there were some taxes that were put there as mentioned by DG. And it was also an agreement at the level of East African Community. So it is not prohibited, but it is a restrictive measure so that development of the sector would be promoted. So that in the future, people even would not think of second-hand clothes. They would think of ready-made clothes from Rwanda, from African countries, or from any other country. So it wasn't easy. Even the mindset of people, they would not think that they can live without second-hand clothes, both the distributors and those that like second-hand clothing. But it was a harsh journey, but it has contributed very well, as DG Tony said, to many of the entrepreneurs that are involved in manufacturing of clothes. Though still importing fabrics from outside, but at least you can get new shirts, new dresses, new suits from Rwanda because of the restrictions that was put in place.
I think that's enough for the questions. You're muted.
I beg your pardon, Joy?
Yes, I think for the question, we are good, so that we don't keep our guests too long.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Anything you want to tell us, Joy, as we conclude this?
Definitely, yes. I think we're all moving to Rwanda. It looks like it's a very beautiful country. I am volunteering to come to Rwanda. It's my neighbor in Kenya. And I've just seen there's so many products. I'm so thrilled. And I know that registering company in Rwanda is one of the famous things known here in diaspora, in your country, giving you a hard time to register your company. Go to Rwanda, you just sit down there, in a few hours, you're done, and your business is registered. So that's something, it's a famous saying here in diaspora. We really appreciate it and sharing with us all those insights. That's quite really important. And our listeners, if you're listening for us here on YouTube, I want to recognize you on YouTube. I've seen you're all looking for contact, especially from the company that was an entrepreneur who just presented, Cecilia, and people already wanted to connect with you. Brilliant. I didn't understand much, but Peace has translated to us, and it sounds very interesting project. Please, if you all want to get into contact with all these people, email us africawomenintrade@gmail.com. We'll be happy to pass on this information to you. And some of them have already shared the information there on the chat. Feel free to connect with them. So I want to thank you so much. Maybe, I don't know if you want each one of them to give us a last word before I hand over back to you to close for the day.
Yeah, thank you very much, our host, Joy. Anything from Divine and anything from Tony? Let me start by Divine, one word, and another word from DG Tony.
Yeah, it's just thank you for organizing this webinar, and also I think for women who attended this webinar. My one word is to welcome you to visit and to invest in Rwanda. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Divine. DG Tony. I think Digitony has gone to